Making the unthinkable decision. The Johnson family's story. Life and death are two sides of the same coin, inseparably linked and often shrouded in mystery. What happens when death comes too close? How do we cope with the emotional burden of facing death, especially when it involves someone we love? These are the questions that most of us would prefer to avoid. Still, the truth is, it's an inevitable part of the human experience. Meet the Johnson family. They have always been a close-knit group, and they never imagined that they would have to face such a difficult decision. But everything changed when Mr. Johnson was diagnosed with aggressive terminal cancer. Mr. Johnson is lying in a hospital bed, too weak and fragile to even open his eyes. His wife and children are gathered around him, holding his hand and trying to offer comfort. Mrs. Johnson is upset, her eyes red from crying. She loves her husband and has all of her life, and now it pains her as she has to see him in so much pain. The family has a difficult decision to make. Should they keep Mr. Johnson in the hospital where he can receive round-the-clock care, or should they bring him home to be with his family during his final days? The family is discussing their options with the doctor. The doctor tries to emphasize and offer help as he explains the pros and cons of each choice. No matter what the doctor can say, the family will be left to make the ultimate decision. The Johnson family grapples with a weighty decision: how to best care for their terminally ill father and husband, Mr. Johnson. They turn to a doctor for guidance and are presented with various options, each with its own set of pros and cons. The family must then navigate the difficult task of weighing these options while also considering Mr. Johnson's wishes and what would be best for the family as a whole. Is this what he would have wanted? Would he have wanted all his loved ones to watch him suffer as tubes and fluids ran through his body? Will he ever be able to remember the strong man he once was before this tragedy? Will this image be scarred in the family's memories forever? It's a heart-wrenching reminder of the complexities and emotional toll that end-of-life issues can bring, forcing families to confront difficult decisions that will profoundly impact their loved ones and themselves. The doctor explains, on the one hand, there are potential benefits to letting go, such as relieving their father and husband of his pain and suffering and allowing him to pass on with dignity. Besides, it can also ease the burden on the family, who may be emotionally, physically, and financially drained from the extensive care required for a terminally ill loved one. On the other hand, the decision to pull the plug is often fraught with guilt and uncertainty. There is a chance that the family member may recover or regain some quality of life, and the thought of cutting their life short can be deeply distressing. Moreover, there may be religious or cultural beliefs that forbid the practice of actively ending a life, adding further complications to the decision-making process. Ultimately, the decision to let a family member go must be made on a case-by-case basis, carefully considering the patient's wishes, the family's beliefs, and the medical team's advice. It is a decision that requires immense compassion, courage, and empathy, and there are no easy answers or right or wrong choices. Imagine one of your loved ones. What would you do in that situation? But that's not the end of their journey. As Mr. Johnson's condition worsens, the family must face even more difficult decisions. They are forced to confront the reality of death and the impact it will have on their lives as well. How will they cope with the grief and loss? And what will they learn about the meaning of life and the importance of family? Will family get-togethers ever be the same? As we leave the Johnson family at a crossroads, we can't help but wonder what lies ahead for them. Will they find the strength and resilience to navigate this difficult time and emerge on the other side with a newfound appreciation for life and family? As the days pass, Mr. Johnson's condition continues to deteriorate, and the family must make the decision now, or it might have to be made for them. They gather around his bedside, holding hands and sharing memories of happier times. Mr. Johnson's breathing becomes labored, and his wife and children know the end is near. The family weeps as they say their final goodbyes, grateful for the time they had together and the memories that will always remain. Memories flood back to the good times they shared together. One memory that stands out is a family camping trip where Mr. Johnson imparted a valuable lesson to his youngest daughter. They had set up camp in a secluded area surrounded by tall trees, and Mr. Johnson took his daughter on a hike through the forest. As they walked, he pointed out the different types of trees and wildlife, teaching her to appreciate the beauty of nature. But then, disaster struck. The young girl stumbled and fell, injuring her ankle. She cried out in pain, unsure how they would return to camp. Mr. Johnson didn't hesitate, scooping her up in his arms and carrying her all the way back to the campsite. As they sat by the fire that night, Mr. Johnson told his daughter that life could be tough and we all stumble and fall sometimes. But it's important to have people in our lives who will pick us up and carry us through the hard times. He told her that he will always be there for her, no matter what, and that they were a family who looked out for one another. Now, as Mr. Johnson lies in the hospital bed, his daughter clings to that memory and to the valuable lesson her father taught her. She knows it's their turn to carry him through this difficult time, to be there for him as he was always there for them. It's a poignant reminder on the bond between a father and his family and the strength and resilience that a family can provide in the face of adversity. Now it's their turn to be strong. In the final moments, they make the difficult but compassionate decision to let him go. In the aftermath, the Johnson family is left to pick up the pieces and learn how to navigate life without their beloved father. They lean on each other for support, finding comfort in the shared experience of caring for Mr. Johnson in his final days. Through their journey, the Johnson family discovers the true meaning of family and the importance of being there for each other through thick and thin. They learn that life is precious and fleeting, and that every moment spent together is a gift to be cherished. Their story is a testament to the power of love and the resilience of the human spirit, inspiring us all to cherish our loved ones and hold them close, even in the face of life's most difficult challenges. As we reflect on the journey of the Johnson family, we are reminded of the fragility and preciousness of life. It is a reminder that life is not just about the number of years we live, but the quality of moments we share with the people we love. In the face of death, the Johnson family found the courage to make difficult decisions and the strength to support each other. They showed us that love and hope could shine through even the darkest times. Mr. Johnson's teaching on the importance of living in the moment and cherishing every memory remind us that life is a gift that should never be taken for granted. We must learn to embrace the present, appreciate the beauty of nature, and cherish the people in our lives. The Johnson family's journey serves as a poignant reminder that our time on this earth is limited, and it is up to us to make the most of it. It is a reminder that life is not always easy, but the challenges we face help us grow and appreciate the simple joys of life. In the end, it's our love and our memories that will endure long after we are gone. What do you think about the Johnson family's difficult decision? How would you handle a situation if faced with the same difficult decisions and emotional toll of caring for a terminally ill family member? Let us know if you've experienced anything like this before or know someone who has. Share your stories in the comments section below. Let's learn from one another as we journey through this great mystery known as life.